Hello and welcome to Head On RKO Radio even. I'm Jake and this is our weekly show on a Friday playing all that is good in the English language, and that of course was Primal Scream with Slip Inside This House, their cover of the 13th Floor Elevators song there, from the classic Screamadelica album from 1991, and of course we are playing that because obviously we've had the sad death this week of Andrew Weatherall, who was instrumental in that album, really the main player, you could say, a lot of people say, and obviously he passed away sadly this week. A huge producer, one of the most important producers certainly from the UK in the last 30 years or so. Such a big influence and really brought that sort of rock and dance culture together, and yeah, Screamadelica, one of the most classic albums from Britain in the last 30-40 years undoubtedly. So yeah, that one obviously after the sad death of Andrew Weatherall, and we will play a little bit more of him later on tonight. Okay, anyway, it's good to speak to you all again. So next we are going to Belgium, back to 1983, and we have the song Figures by Absolute Body Control. So that was Absolute Body Control with the song Figures, Belgian band, and that song is from 1983. Really like that one. I really like the squelchy sounding synths in that. I think it just sounds fantastic, like pulsing synths, and it's just so good. And you can definitely hear the influences there. There's a bit of Fad Gadget, Depeche Mode, and this is obviously a few years later. But yeah, you can definitely hear the early influences. And obviously Absolute Body Control was the name of a Deutsch-Amerikanische Freundschaft song as well. So you got some DAF in Fad Gadget, Depeche Mode, very much nailing their colours to the mast there. Absolute Body Control. Yeah, great song there though. Okay, where next? Okay, back to Scotland. So we had Primal Scream first, then we went to Belgium, now we're going back to Scotland again. And we have The Associates with Party Fears 2.
Time
The Associates with Party Fears 2, the classic single from the Sulk album in 1982. Fantastic band, The Associates, from Scotland, and we very much missed Billy Mackenzie there. Really fantastic song there. One of those songs you can guarantee if you play at a nightclub in Edinburgh or Glasgow, people just go crazy for it. Absolutely classic song there from The Associates. And now we are going to listen to The Cramps back in 1986, and we have the song What's Inside a Girl. The Cramps with What's Inside a Girl from the 1986 album, A Date with Elvis. What a band the Cramps were. So many amazing songs again by the Cramps that we could play, but I went for that one. I think my favourite one. Just really like the riff with that and just the feel that it has. Really fantastic. Can't remember if that was the period where Kid Congo Powers was in the band or not. I can't remember. Kid Congo Powers from a gun club seemed to jump between the two bands quite a lot. Okay, so that was the Cramps. Next, we are going up north to New York, and we have Television with Venus.
Between my bones and skin,
Okay, so that was Television with Venus from the classic 1977 album Marquee Moon. Just one of those albums that always gets mentioned when you talk about punk around that time in New York. You had Television, Ramones, Blondie. Television very much part of all that. A bit arty, a bit not as aggressive as a lot of the other punk bands, but a really great sound that they had. Right, next, probably a bit more aggressive actually, The Monks, 1966, That's My Girl. Okay, so that was The Monks with That's My Girl from the classic album Black Monk Time, 1966. One of the best albums of the 60s for me. Just completely different to anything else that was happening at the time. Very garagey and proto-punk. Amazing story of the Monks. Actually formed in West Germany. I think they were American GIs stationed out there and were just a bit bored and decided to start a band. They got the whole monk haircuts, the robes, everything. But really fantastic garage sound that they had. A really brilliant band, the Monks. Okay, next we're going to stay in, I don't say stay in New York because we weren't in New York before. We're actually going to Ultra Vivid Scene with the song Mercy Seat.
When I'm in the mercy seat, I smile, and then my
So that was Ultra Vivid Scene with the song Mercy Seat, 1988. Definitely a very big Velvet Underground, Jesus and Mary Chain influence that you can hear there. Really lovely song. I remember my old friend Rich, who I used to work with in Vinyl Exchange in Manchester, he got me into that one a long time ago. Okay, now, speaking of the Jesus and Mary Chain, many of my friends have been saying, why have you not played the Jesus and Mary Chain yet? Everyone knows that they're your favourite bands. Well, here they are, Jesus and Mary Chain, Her Way of Praying. So it's the Jesus and Mary Chain with Her Way of Praying from a 1989 album, Automatic. As I say, one of my old-time favourite bands. I was completely obsessed with them for a long time. Of course, this show is named after their song Head On. I had a club night called Barbed Wire Kisses. Just one of the best bands all time as far as I'm concerned. I played that one because everyone always kind of goes on about Psycho Candy and Darklands, which are both obviously fantastic albums, great albums, but Automatic doesn't really get the attention it deserves. Neither does Honey's Dead or Stoned and Dethroned, which I think are equally just as good albums. Well, maybe not as good, but underappreciated albums, we'll say. So yeah, but Jesus and Mary Chain there, and I'm sure I'll be playing them again sometime in the not too distant future. Right, next, where are we going? To 2005, and we have the Duke Spirit with Love is an Unfamiliar Name. So, Duke Spirit with Love is an Unfamiliar Name from a 2005 album, Cuts Across the Land, which for me was an amazing album. I think one of the best albums that came out around that period. I think it's just such a brilliant time for indie music. That around that 2004, 5, 6 time was just brilliant. Just in every week you had obviously the Duke Spirit, the Kills, LCD Sound System, YT, Interpol. There were just so many really good bands. God knows, Cut Copy were releasing some good stuff, and it was just always seemed to be like every week you could go to the record shop and there'd be a new 7-inch single out by one of those bands. It just seemed to be so much happening, and the Duke Spirit were definitely a part of that. A really great band, really, again, a bit underappreciated. Okay, now the Replacements with Left of the Dial.
Georgia
The Replacements there with Left of a Dial from the 1985 album Tim. Replacements for me, and a band that I need to investigate a bit further, just one that I just never got around to listening to properly. I've heard a few great songs from him, like that one, and Here Comes a Regular from that same album is also fantastic. I mean, Left of a Dial was just like a classic college radio track from that time. I think like he had the Replacements, R.E.M., Black Flag around then, were quite alternative and just really great scene there. Okay, just a quick word of advice. If you are looking for something to do this Saturday night, get yourself down to Cafe Nero and you will find DJs Carlo, Alberto and Arcangelo. Should be a good night. Saturday night, Cafe Nero in Bari. Okay, next we have Telemann with Dusseldorf. Okay, so that was Telemann with the song Dusseldorf from a 2016 album, Brilliant Sanity. Again, not a band I know an awful lot about. I've heard a few songs that I like. I think my brother put that one on a CD for me a few years ago, actually. I think it's a bit Sparks sounding. It sounds a bit like Sparks. A couple of other influences there I can't quite put my finger on, but nice enough. Quite a good song there from Telemann. Okay, next, a bit of a cult band. A bit, again, not so well known. Known in certain circles, I guess, in the post-punk field. From 1982, we have The Cleaners from Venus with Only a Shadow.
made me check my sight. Something very strange made me walk outside. So I walked outside like this fool would. Nothing to lose and I knew I should. Ever since you told me that I was no good, it was no good, I knew it would be. Only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. Only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. She looks like you. It's the time of year when a flower dies. It's a kind of night when a ghost will rise. Searching for a girl with the dancing eyes who could stay all day but leave next night. Instinct should have told me never worked out right. Now I'm very nervous, I leave on my right. But I walk outside, but it's only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. Only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. Only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. Only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. She looks like Listen to a voice going round my head. Comes to me at night when I'm in my bed. Could be going crazy, it's what they said. And what they say is I'm no good. Told me to leave, you really think I should? Hold you by your face everywhere I look. But I walk outside, I don't want to fight. It's only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but she looks like you. Only a shadow, only a shadow, only a shadow, but
So that was Only a Shadow by the Cleaners from Venus, from their 1982 album Midnight Cleaners. We had Venus by Television earlier, now we have the Cleaners from Venus. Yeah, really lovely song that. A bit lo-fi, a bit, dark, post-punk, kind of how I like it, I guess, I suppose. But yeah, Cleaners from Venus were a really great song from them. Martin Newell and his band. Okay, where next? Stereolab, and we have Stereolab with the song The Free Design.
Where it had been left hundreds of years ago, extract from the dead is but a setting sun. Paradise is cast in this light that won't shine. What is our earthly task but a worthy design? Some held it inside, scattered it may have been. They're ready to fight in a priceless evening. The request is here, ready to resurrect. What else can we do but recover the project? Our earthly design, can we be so detached? What pushes our designer to be trapped?
So that was Stereolab with a song The Free Design from the 1999 album Cobra and Phases Group Play Voltage in the Milky Night. Just one of pretty standard album title there for Stereolab. But yeah, really great song. I really like the bass line in that song. Really one of my favourite Stereolab songs there. Okay, and next we are going to a guy who I have played on here before, but he's an absolute hero of mine, and so I make no apology for that. And this is Alan Vega with Raver. Vega there with the song Raver from his 1981 album Collision Drive. I really don't think there's enough love for Alan Vega's solo stuff. Everyone obviously loves his Suicide material, which is obviously amazing, but I think his solo stuff really needs to get out there a bit more and be appreciated by more people. Okay, we have one more song to play, but before we do that, just to remind you, you've been listening to Head On RKO Radio. You can contact us on Facebook. You can find us RK On Air on Facebook, or the website www.rkonair.com. We're on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, everything. You can find us there. Okay, so we started the song with Primal Scream, an Andrew Weatherall production. So now we're going to play another Andrew Weatherall song, but one of his own. I think he deserves one of his own songs as well to finish the show. So this is Two Lone Swordsmen with Driving With My Gears in Reverse Only Makes You Move Further Away from the 2004 album from the Double Gone Chapel. Okay, speak to you all next week. Bye-bye.